guys, it is Steph. I'm continuing my series on Profit First, the book by Mike Michalowicz. And this week I want to talk with you about why it's so important to start small. Entrepreneurs have very big dreams and grand visions of what it is that they want to accomplish, and we tend to want to take a really huge bite out of something right from the start. But sometimes when you're talking about overhauling how you've approached things up to this point in your life, starting small but being consistent is what will actually get you the most momentum the fastest. So the reason for this is confidence. If you've never budgeted before, if you've never saved for retirement before, if you're just used to flying by the seat of your pants financially all of the time, and you really have never experienced any structure or habits around your money, it's just like, there's money in the account, I'm going to keep rolling. If that's how you functioned up to this point, and then you want to go from that to, I'm going to adopt every last principle in Michalowicz's book, and I'm going to have it implemented in 30 days, you might be setting yourself up for some frustration and disappointment. It's not going to stick. So just find the one starting place that will be the most meaningful for you and make that a habit. If you can do that consistently for a month, great. Add the next layer to it. Do this in pieces, because once you're really confident that you understand a financial principle, you can practice it with a high degree of consistency, that confidence is going to make you hungry to do more. And you're going to do it sustainably, which means you're going to get better compound results over time. So I'll share with you how I started, because I used to really suck at managing my money. I was bad at it. I joke with everyone who does a disc debrief with me. I'm an ID. My husband is a CD, and he is incredibly strategic with money and very disciplined. And I always joke that when we got married, my credit score went up 200 points. Highly recommend to all my IDs, marry a C. They will whip you into shape. So, I mean, I was really a mess around money. So my starting point, the thing I had to get myself to do was make a budget. I'm not saying that I always stick with it 100%. I'm not saying I look at it even on a weekly basis. But the exercise of going through my forms of income and my forms of expenses on the business side and then on the household side, and looking at it and really understanding the picture of how I make money and how rapidly it just goes right out the door, and how much of it I really wanted to stick, whether so I could go on vacation or make home improvements or save for my retirement. I needed more of my money to stick and not just float out the door with BS, which was my previous habit. So just that alone, and I really resisted doing a budget, because like many other fundsters, I thought a budget is going to be restrictive and it's going to be punitive and it's going to kill all of my joy. It was sobering. I'm not going to lie. It was very sobering. But I felt much more empowered around my decisions, and I finally felt that I had an understanding of something that, before I was that person who just would shoot from the hip, and I had money in the account, and as long as I had money in the account, my world kept spinning. So looking at it from a different point of view and seeing how I could make intentional choices to make my money function for me, that in and of itself was a real game changer for me. And it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I spent a couple minutes licking my wounds, but after that, I just got on with it. And so after I did a budget, then I thought, okay, and this was years ago, I am going to start a Roth, and I'm going to put a certain amount of money into my Roth. And it wasn't as much as I wanted to, but I kind of needed to clean up some other stuff first before I had more cash flow to devote to it. But starting it was important. And having an auto deduction every month that went into my Roth so I didn't have to think about it was important. And so I chose these things, small bites that started to build my confidence that I was not a train wreck around money. I just needed knowledge and systems to help me make better choices. And so once I let go of this kind of old identity around money that really wasn't serving me, then the systems and the process and the knowledge helped me form a new identity that's been very empowering. And I am so much better with my money than I used to be. Uh, and my husband's very grateful for that. So if you need help, I'm going to put a money coach's information in the comments with this video. I highly recommend reaching out to Silvia. She's a lovely person, non-judgmental. If you've really struggled with debt, with making a budget for yourself, and with having to face, some of the decisions that maybe you've made around money in the past, and you want to replace that old embarrassment with new healthy habits. Silvia is great at holding that space, helping you process that, and helping you get systems in place. So I will drop her information in the comments. And really, just the takeaway for this week is don't be afraid to start small. I know as a culture, we have this go big or go home attitude towards so much stuff, which honestly, I'm just going to say it is bullshit. Start small, get your traction, build your confidence, then use that as a launching point to level up and get more curious and learn more and expand your systems. It's consistency that matters, not artificial grandeur. Okay? There's nothing wrong with starting small. Starting small is oftentimes the thing that yields the biggest results over time. So, liberate yourself from ridiculous expectations and go tiny. Okay? If you need help, I'm here. If you definitely need help with money, reach out to Silvia, and we'll continue this series in a couple of weeks, and I'll see you then. Take care, guys. Bye.